What's up, anime fam? Today we're diving into the most heart-fluttering, soul-crushing supernatural romance anime that'll have you questioning reality and your own love life. Buckle up for some serious feels. Kicking off with number 10, Dandadan. High schooler Momo meets occult-obsessed Ken, sparking debates about ghosts versus aliens until supernatural chaos erupts around them both. You know what? Dandadan caught me completely off guard. I went in expecting typical supernatural shenanigans, but what I got was this absolutely bonkers blend of horror, comedy, and surprisingly touching romance. The chemistry between Momo and Okarun is electric. Literally, considering all the supernatural electricity flying around. What gets me is how their relationship develops through shared trauma and mutual weirdness. They're both outcasts who find solace in each other's company. And honestly, isn't that what we all want? The supernatural elements aren't just window dressing here, they're integral to their bond. Plus, the animation quality is insane. Studio Science Saru really went all out. Every fight scene looks like a fever dream painted by a caffeinated artist. The way supernatural encounters force these two together, while also threatening to tear them apart, creates this perfect tension that keeps you glued to your screen. Sliding to number 9, The Apothecary Diaries. Mao Mao, a pharmacist's daughter, gets sold into imperial service where she uses her poison knowledge to solve palace mysteries. Okay, hear me out. This isn't your typical romance, but the slow burn tension between Mao Mao and Jinshi is absolutely chef's kiss. Wait, it's absolutely perfect. What I love about this series is how it subverts expectations. Mao Mao isn't your typical romantic lead. She's more interested in poisons than princes, and that makes her fascinating. The supernatural elements are subtle, ancient remedies, mysterious illnesses, and court intrigue that borders on magical. But the real magic happens in those quiet moments between Mao Mao and Jinshi. He's completely smitten with this weird girl who treats him like he's less interesting than a moldy herb, and she's slowly warming up to his genuine care for her well-being. The palace setting adds this layer of forbidden romance that makes every interaction feel charged with possibility. Plus, watching Mao Mao solve medical mysteries with the enthusiasm of a kid in a candy store never gets old. It's like CSI meets historical romance with a dash of supernatural mystery. Landing on number 8, My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. After her boyfriend cheats, college student Akane finds unexpected connection with pro-gamer Yamada through online gaming and conventions. This one hits different because it's supernatural in the most modern way possible, through gaming and online relationships. The supernatural element here is how two people can form such deep connections through screens and avatars. Akane's journey from heartbreak to healing resonates so hard, especially if you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted. Yamada starts as this seemingly cold, intimidating pro-gamer, but underneath, he's just a socially awkward guy who's better at expressing himself through gameplay than words. What gets me emotional is how their relationship develops both online and offline. The gaming world becomes their safe space where they can be vulnerable without the pressure of face-to-face interaction. It's a beautiful exploration of how modern love can bloom in digital spaces. The convention scenes are so authentic, you can tell the creators actually understand gaming culture. Every awkward interaction, every moment of connection through shared interests feels genuine. It's supernatural romance for the internet age, and honestly, it might be the most realistic portrayal of how relationships actually develop nowadays. Looking at number 7, Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Sakura encounters Mai, a celebrity whose existence is gradually being erased from everyone's memory due to supernatural adolescence syndrome. Don't let the title fool you. This series will absolutely destroy you emotionally while questioning the nature of reality. The supernatural concept of adolescence syndrome is brilliant because it takes real teenage struggles and manifests them as literal supernatural phenomena. Mai's invisibility syndrome represents feeling overlooked and forgotten, which is painfully relatable. Sakura and Mai's relationship is built on him being the only one who can see her, both literally and metaphorically. Their banter is top tier, witty, sharp, and full of genuine affection, disguised as sarcasm. What I love is how Sakura never treats the supernatural occurrences as completely crazy. He approaches each situation with scientific curiosity and emotional intelligence. The series tackles heavy topics like depression, social anxiety, and identity crisis through its supernatural lens, making them easier to process while never diminishing their impact. Every arc introduces a new girl with her own syndrome, but Mai and Sakura's relationship remains the emotional anchor. Their dynamic feels so natural and mature compared to typical high school romance anime. It's like they're already an old married couple, just figuring out how to navigate supernatural weirdness together. Moving to number 6, Kamisama Kiss. Homeless Nanami inherits a shrine and becomes a land god, with fox familiar Tomoe reluctantly serving as her supernatural protector. This series owns my heart, and I'm not even ashamed about it. The enemies to lovers trope between Nanami and Tomoe is executed flawlessly. She's this scrappy human girl thrust into the supernatural world of gods and demons, while he's an ancient fox spirit with centuries of baggage and trust issues. What makes their relationship compelling is how they challenge each other. She humanizes him, while he helps her find her inner strength. The supernatural world building is rich and colorful, filled with various spirits, gods, and magical creatures that each bring their own drama. But the real magic happens in those quiet moments between Nanami and Tomoe, where centuries of emotional walls slowly crumble. The series doesn't shy away from the complications of immortal-mortal relationships, and the angst is delicious. Tomoe's past adds layers of tragedy that make his eventual opening up to Nanami even more meaningful. Plus, the supporting cast of shrine spirits and other supernatural beings creates this found family dynamic that's incredibly heartwarming. Every episode balances humor, romance, and supernatural adventure perfectly, making it impossible to stop watching. Arriving at number 5, Into the Forest of Fireflies Light. Young Hotaru befriends Gin, a masked forest spirit who cannot touch humans, leading to a bittersweet supernatural romance. Prepare your tissues, because this 45-minute movie will wreck you in the best possible way. The premise is devastatingly simple. Two beings who can never touch, growing up together across the boundary between human and spirit worlds. What starts as childhood friendship slowly blossoms into something deeper, more complex, and ultimately tragic. The forest setting is like a character itself, mysterious and magical, filled with spirits that feel both welcoming and dangerous. Jin's mask creates this barrier that's both literal and metaphorical. He's hiding not just his face, but his vulnerability. Hotaru's annual visits become this ritual of connection across impossible circumstances, and watching her grow from child to teenager while Jin remains unchanged adds another layer of bittersweetness. The animation captures the ethereal beauty of the spirit world perfectly, with fireflies dancing like tiny stars throughout every scene. What kills me is how their relationship develops through stolen moments and careful distance. Every summer brings them closer emotionally, while the physical barrier remains absolute. It's a meditation on love, loss, and the cruel beauty of temporary connections. The ending will stay with you forever, guaranteed. Stepping into number 4, Spice and Wolf. Traveling merchant Lawrence forms a partnership with Howl, with an ancient wolf harvest goddess seeking to return to her distant homeland. Economics has never been this romantic, and I mean that completely seriously. Lawrence and Hollow's relationship develops through business negotiations, market manipulation, and philosophical discussions about human nature. She's this centuries-old deity with wisdom beyond measure, but she's also playfully manipulative and surprisingly vulnerable. Their dynamic is fascinating because they're equals in different ways. He understands human commerce, she understands the deeper currents of human behavior. What makes this supernatural romance unique is how grounded it feels, despite Hollow's divine nature. Their conversations flow between playful teasing and deep emotional intimacy, often within the same scene. The medieval setting adds authenticity to their journey, with each town bringing new challenges that test both their business partnership and growing emotional bond. Hollow's wolf form isn't just for show. It represents her otherness, her power, and the fundamental difference between human and divine perspectives. The series treats their relationship with remarkable maturity, exploring themes of loneliness, companionship, and the fear of abandonment. Every negotiation becomes a metaphor for their emotional give and take. It's like watching two master chess players fall in love while playing the game of life. Climbing to number 3, Call of the Night. Insomniac Ko meets vampire Nazuna, who introduces him to the nocturnal world where he must fall in love to become vampire. This series perfectly captures that liminal space between night and day, between human and monster, between friendship and romance. Ko's insomnia becomes the gateway to discovering this hidden supernatural world that exists while normal people sleep. Nazuna is such a compelling character. She's ancient but childlike, powerful but emotionally naive, predatory but genuinely caring. Their relationship defies easy categorization, which makes it endlessly fascinating. The condition that Ko must fall in love to become a vampire creates this beautiful tension where both characters are trying to understand what love actually means. The nighttime Tokyo setting is breathtaking. Neon-lit streets, empty playgrounds, and rooftop encounters that feel like shared secrets. What gets me is how the series explores different types of love through Ko's interactions with various characters. Each encounter teaches him something new about human connection, desire, and emotional vulnerability. Nazuna's confusion about her own feelings mirrors Ko's journey of self-discovery. The supernatural elements enhance rather than overshadow the emotional core. Vampire abilities become metaphors for intimacy, trust, and the scary thrill of letting someone change you fundamentally. It's a coming-of-age story wrapped in vampire mythology, and honestly, it's perfect. Reaching number 2, Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Human sacrifice Sarifi is offered to the demon king Leonhardt, but instead of death, she finds unexpected love and acceptance. Beauty and the Beast gets a supernatural anime makeover, and the results are absolutely stunning. Sarifi's fearless acceptance of her situation immediately sets her apart from typical damsel-in-distress characters. She walks into certain death with such grace and dignity that even the Demon King is taken aback. Leonhardt is this massive, intimidating beast king who rules over a realm of demons, but Sarifi sees through to his loneliness and genuine heart almost immediately. What makes their romance work is how she challenges his preconceptions about humans, while he shows her a world beyond the narrow-minded human society that rejected her. The supernatural world-building is incredible. Demon politics, ancient curses, and magical ceremonies that feel both grand and intimate. Their size difference creates these visually stunning moments where tenderness becomes almost surreal. But it's the emotional intimacy that really sells their relationship. She teaches him about human compassion, while he shows her what it means to be truly valued. The series doesn't shy away from the complications of interspecies romance or the political ramifications of their union. Every episode builds their connection while expanding the mythology of this supernatural realm. It's epic fantasy romance at its finest. Crowning number 1, Howl's Moving Castle. Cursed Sophie must break her aging spell while navigating war, magic, and her complex relationship with the mysterious wizard Howl. Studio Ghibli doesn't miss, and this film is absolute proof. Sophie's transformation from self-doubting young woman to confident elderly lady to something in between is pure character development gold. Howl's vanity and drama queen tendencies make him surprisingly human despite his magical abilities. Their relationship develops through shared domestic space, living together in this impossible moving castle that becomes their sanctuary from the war-torn world outside. What I love is how Sophie's curse becomes a blessing in disguise, freeing her from societal expectations and allowing her true personality to emerge. Howl's initial attraction to her confidence and capability, rather than conventional beauty, subverts typical fairy tale romance. The supernatural elements are woven seamlessly into the emotional narrative. Magic reflects character growth, curses represent internal struggles, and the moving castle itself embodies the idea that home is wherever your loved ones are. The war subplot adds urgency and stakes that make their personal journey feel epic. Calcifer provides comic relief while serving as the heart of the castle, literally and figuratively. Every frame is visually stunning, but the real magic is watching two broken people help each other heal. It's about finding someone who sees your true self and loves you, not despite your flaws, but because of your complete, complicated humanity. And there you have it. 10 supernatural romance anime that prove love transcends reality, species, and sometimes even death itself. Which one destroyed your heart the most? Drop your favorites in the comments. Hit that like button if you're now adding to your watch list, and subscribe for more anime deep dives.